Expect great things from God. Attempt great things for God. This quote was made most famous by one of the best missionaries to India by the name of William Carey. Born August 17, 1761 in Pillsbury, England, from a very young age, William Carey had a love for languages. Although Carey did not have much formal education, they lived in a small town and didn't have the money to go to a nice school. His father made his whole family attend church. And at church, they were required to memorize many scriptures. And from memorizing many scriptures, he was able to gain a great knowledge about the Bible and what it has to say. And then when William was 14, he began as an apprentice learning the craft of shoemaking. He soon became very skilled at the craft, but he wanted more in life than just to be an apprentice and ultimately just do a trade. But because of abusive and swearing and even God-hating trade master, it was during these years that William Carey would become bitter against God. But it took a friend named John Wade who persuaded him not to quit the trade so that he would stay sane. And that is when Carey turned back to God from his bitterness. At age 21, William Carey, through much reading, started to develop a burden for the outside world and the condition of their souls. He heard inside for the unreached people of the world who had never heard the gospel. Remarkably, by age 10, Carey mastered Latin. In his teen years, he taught himself Greek, and later he learned Hebrew, Italian, Dutch, French, and later as a missionary, he learned Bengali. He's an absolute amazing guy when it came to linguistics, and I'm working on English right now. So this kind of learning showed a true genius in him. He loved languages and learned many of them. One day, William was asked when he preached at a meeting, or he said when he was at a meeting, when it was William's turn, he got up and preached the reason the world was so wicked and violent is because they had no knowledge of a Savior. After this sermon, a man stood up and rebuked Carey, saying, "When God chooses to convert the heathen, he will do it without consulting you or me. So why would you ever attempt such an endeavor?" William answered quickly back, I am not afraid of failure, sir. I'm afraid of succeeding at things that don't matter. A few months later, after much struggle, in finding a mission board to support him, William found a doctor who told of a great need for the gospel in India. So taking quick action in 1793 at age 32, William and his wife boarded a ship and headed to the country of India. After enduring harsh seas for months, William and his wife arrived on the coast of India. They soon found how hard the life was and how expensive it was to live. But what bothered Carey the most was the extent of the religious acts done by the people. He was deeply upset by the Indians' great-rooted religious nature expressed by their shrines, offerings of food and flowers, and the incredible suffering they were willing to endure for the quest of spiritual peace. They would even starve themselves to death rather than take food for one of their gods. William endured many family losses in his time in India. While in India, he buried 3 wives and 4 children. But all along, he looked to God for comfort and strength during his 3 years as a missionary. Despite hardships, Carey was able to supervise the translation of the Bible into 33 other Asian languages, wrote dictionaries and grammars in 4 Indian languages, founded 19 missions in more than 102 colleges, and wrote the first newspaper in India. He also started churches and many Sunday schools for children. The life of William Carey ended on June 9th, 1843. But his influence in the country still lives on today. So the question is, what is the present state of missions in India at this point? Well, the hardest part about evangelizing the people in India is getting them not to believe in the false gods their culture promotes. With 1.3 billion people in the country, with 80% of them being Hindu, 14% Muslim, it is extremely difficult to start any Christian work because of the religious leaders of the land. There are very few missionaries in India because of the missionary visa requirements. There are also evangelism laws in place that don't allow missionaries to get in. Most of the missionaries in the countries are nationals who have the freedom to travel anywhere they want in the country. The only way most missionaries see an opportunity to get in is a drastic change in the government. But presently, with the President Ramnath Kovind, of India, nothing bright on the horizon of present missions is there. What did I learn from the life of William Carey? Well, I learned that no matter where life has you, if we simply have the heart to please, honor, and submit to God wherever we're at in life, God will use us to do great things. I think as Americans, and especially as Christians, we should remember the quote that William Carey made famous, and that is, don't worry about failure. Worry about succeeding in life, succeeding at things of this life that don't really matter. Thank you.